that, Trump basically unilaterally declared a ceasefire.
Yeah, do that. All righty.
There we
We'll give
go.
people a few more minutes. It's not, I think it's a minute before. We'll see. I'm trying the Saturday thing just to make it more accessible for those who work traditional jobs. But we'll see. We'll see. So everybody gets settled. Feel free to chat or, interject or whatever at any time. But if you have any background noise, I just ask that you keep your microphone muted so it's not distracting to people. Yeah, and that's really it.
If you want, I'll let people in for you. That way you don't have to,
There's not really. Yeah, so far. Okay, so far this is it. So
okay.
We will carry on. I generally like to start this with a grounding exercise, but there are like 3 of us here, so we may not feel as ungrounded or nervous by chatting with other folks. But why the heck not, right? So normally I do box breathing, but I thought I would just try deep breathing this time. You can tap out of anything. Like if it's not your gig, it's not your gig. So what we're going to do is I'll count you in. We're going to breathe in through our nose for a count of 3 and breathe out through our mouth for a count of 5. And if you want to get even more out of it, when you're breathing out, you can sort of visualize stress, anxiety, sadness, sort of, being released. All right, so everyone through their nose, breathe in, 1, 2, 3, hold, breathe out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to do it one more time. Again, holding at the top, breathe in through your nose, 1, 2, 3. We're holding through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, well done, everyone. Welcome to those that are here live and watching this later. Hello, hello. This is just a little touch base. A lot of us are on our 3rd week of our Moodring Make-Along, but some are still just joining, which is fantastic and also completely okay. So if you're watching later and you just started a week ago or a day ago, please do not feel like you're behind or feel like you need to tap out of things because you're not at the same place as everyone. That's not a thing, and it's certainly not my intention with this. So just as a recap, there are 4 different patterns. Each pattern takes a different amount of time to knit or crochet, and so that's one thing that shakes everything up. And then they also don't take the full 90 days. Not all of them do, some do. And furthermore, it can take as long as you want. This is your process, your time. I just gave a loose outline just because sometimes it helps to have sort of a guide, but that's all it is a guide. I also I've seen a couple of comments on the boards just about, being behind and not wanting this to be yet another unfinished project. And I hear you, but I would like to release you from that if possible. So hold on, I got to unpin. Oh, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just do gallery again. I hear you. We are all conditioned in this society that to not complete something is a failure. But there are lessons to be learned in any activity or relationship or whatever it is. and things have their time and they have their meaning. So in general, my philosophy about UFOs, unfinished objects, are that work with them while they serve you. Put them aside. If you're not going to use them, think about what they gave you. Did they give you something at all ever? If they didn't, stop. Just full stop. If they did, think about that. Like maybe it was just so fun shopping for the yarn and being able to support your local yarn store. Maybe you just really enjoyed diving in, but it was a project that you've waited so long to finish that it's no longer appropriate for your lifestyle or on trend or right, whatever it is. Or maybe you're just tired of the colors or whatever. If you had fun, great. Like give it that. That's what it was. But if you don't want to go back to it, just don't. But I would suggest that you either donate everything, like package it up in a bag altogether, including like what you've done. We've all been to thrift stores and seen, started cross stitch or embroidered, like old crewel kits that have started. And it's kind of a treasure to find that because you're picking up somebody's story, and finishing it. Or you can always like unwind the yarn, and either put it back in your stash or else donate the yarn. There's a lot of creative reuse places. Not every city has them, but you can Google it. And those are places that they're like thrift stores for craft supplies. Those are really nice. If you have one of those, cool. But Goodwill, local church and hospital thrift stores, they will all take craft supplies. So I just want to tell you, for this project and everything, like give yourself a break. Like let knitting and crochet or whatever you choose to do beyond that feed you the way it's supposed to be and not be another thing to add to your stress plate. All right, I'm going to get off my pedestal now and kind of check in with everybody. So I may have to do some stop talking while I fix this pinning issue, but what I was hoping to do today as part of our check-in is I posted a question on the boards yesterday, and I got a lot of really nice answers. Not nice, all answers are great, but a really sort of candid and introspective answers. And I'll share some of them in a bit, but I would like to first, for anybody that's interested in sharing, I would love to hear about what over these 3 weeks, if you've been doing it since day one, or 2 days, or 2 weeks, whatever it is, if anything, have you noticed during this process? Maybe it's something unexpected. Maybe it's just like, oh, I really needed some time for myself at night, or maybe it's nothing at all. But because this is sort of a non-traditional way to approach a temperature blanket, we might as well use it for introspection. So I'm wondering if anybody would mind sharing what they've noticed over these, what they've noticed over these past 3 weeks that they may not have gone into it expecting. Anybody? Anybody? Bueller.
I'll talk.
Wonderful. What is your name? It just says owner.
Oh, Connie.
Hi, Connie. So nice to have you.
Hi. What I realized when I'm writing down my mood for the day before that day is that I have a lot of sad, mad kind of stuff. So it's reflecting in my yarn, and I'm thinking I need to use these other colors. So I need to change my attitude. So it kind of makes me think about that during the day, like, okay, let's try to be more peaceful or grateful or whatever, it kind of makes me look at where I'm at.
That's
So
brilliant and wonderful. And I love that there's motivation and just being able to use the other yarn. It's really easy for us to say, well, I've got to change my attitude or whatever it is. I'm curious how you approach that. Like, it's one thing to just say, like, I need to be more positive, but are there things that you're able to do to make that effective for yourself and not just be kind of faking it until you make it?
sure. I'm in 12-step programs, So I have ways to kind of sit back and go, okay, time out and reflect on what's causing my chaos to make me or my mood to be mad at somebody or not, to looking back and going, well, this is not really a reason to be mad and kind of turning it around. But I have tools, I guess, that remind me that I can change my attitude, or that something that isn't as bad as I thought. I can see the good in it. Although
Mm.
I can get lost in the I'm mad day too. So
Hey, you're human.
yeah,
You're human.
so that's what I do
I
sometimes.
if I'm hearing you right, you're now that it's in front of your face, you're realizing that you need to reflect, and upon reflection, you're able to kind of get to the core of what's like, what is this really about? And maybe think about how to release it, even if it's just for a moment.
Yes, yes.
Excellent. Well, I
Because
love
I'm good at blaming things on others or
mm,
taking it all in either way, and then
mm,
stopping and going, working through it and going, this isn't even what it is.
yeah.
This is just my head going in some weird direction. So, and it
Well,
brings me back.
would you mind sharing what you've stitched so far? We won't know what color.
Yeah.
We won't
Okay,
know what colors mean anything. Um, but you don't have to if you don't want to. That was one
I'm
of the
fine.
reasons. Okay. Oh, you're using my same palette.
Yes. I'm in my car, so I'm like,
Oh, if you're unable to.
no, I'm not
Oh,
driving.
that's pretty. Oh, I haven't seen it in the rib. That's really lovely. Um,
So that's where I'm at.
oh, well, great job. And thank you, Connie, for sharing.
Sure,
I appreciate it.
sure.
Zia, you had your hand up, but I don't think it's up anymore. Did you want to jump in? Okay, I'm gonna wait until I see you again. Kristen.
Hello.
Hello.
I have noticed self-talk. Self-talk really colors my mood.
What do you mean by
Well, my self-talk is not very good. I am not kind to myself.
mm,
Um, and I complain to myself about myself a whole lot instead of just accepting myself and accepting my feelings and accepting that, an emotion is not good or bad. I mean, it is.
mhm,
It's what you do with that emotion. It's what you do with your anger or what you do with your joyfulness that is really allowing me to look at things through a different lens. And so far, the Moodring Make-Along has helped me to look at my own feelings through a different lens. And that's been a very positive experience for me. Because I'm trying not to judge.
mm,
I judge myself a lot.
mhm,
So this is allowing me to step back, write down what I'm feeling, just emotion works. Don't judge why, don't judge how, don't try and change it. Just try and flow. And it's really opened my eyes to how I treat myself.
mm.
I don't treat myself as well as I treat others sometimes.
That's yeah,
So yeah, it's been big and it's been good.
it's good stuff, Kristen. Good stuff.
Yeah,
I just can we see? I know you started over. Oh, you're
I
way.
did. I
Look at
did, but
you.
I've been doing at least 2 or 3 days at a time to make
Yeah,
up for, starting over with better yarn. So,
that's so
um,
pretty.
it is, and it's so soft.
Yeah,
It's just so soft with this light halo, and yeah, this is the Pearl Soho.
knitting yarn.
Yes,
Knitting yarn.
thank
Yeah,
you, thank
yeah.
you, and it's
That's
just
lovely.
lovely,
It's really
just
lovely.
lovely, and it's a lighter decay or a heavy sport. So it's going to be, even though it's wool, it's going to be kind of light and airy.
Yeah.
Because I am making it on a 6, you know, like the pattern called for. And I tend to knit loose anyway.
Yeah.
So it's really
Well, and with
drapey
feather
and
and fan, you
flowy.
can get away with that too,
Oh,
you know. Yeah,
absolutely.
really
Yeah.
pretty.
And especially in garter stitch,
Yeah,
you
really.
know. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Madeline, you showed, we had a handicraft happy hour yesterday where you showed the group your piece, but it's a new group today. So if you wouldn't mind
Yep.
jumping now.
Yes, absolutely. And one thing that I have really found, so mine's, I didn't mention this yesterday, but mine's in worsted, so it's bigger. It's going to be huge, but that's fine. So, yeah, so that's, yep.
Yep.
And one thing that I've liked about this is getting back into journaling a little bit. So I journaled all through college and in my 20s and all that. And then I, you know, life happened and I got married and had kids and all that stuff. And just that, there was just no extra, right? So when I sit down, I'm logging my mood, but I'm just journaling a little bit of me, toy poodle, logging my mood and journaling a little bit about why it is there, why that's what it is. And so just kind of a little bit of release, which is nice. So that's I've been wanting to do that for a while, kind of get back into journaling. And so it's been kind of it's been a nice vehicle to do that.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
You had shared earlier that your daughter might dive in. Did she go for it?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah. And I will go. Let me go. Well, so our color palettes are very similar, but hers is in her room. I can go grab it while someone else talks if you want me to show it to you.
Yeah, of course. So just
She won't tell me what her colors mean, but I can just show it.
well, I mean, that would be probably, you don't want to show what your daughter's feelings are to the whole world. Anyway, so it's probably better.
But it's I can show it.
Yeah, no, we would love to see it. I would love to see it.
Somebody else talks, grab it.
Is there anybody else that's comfortable showing their blanket? You do not have to talk about your feelings. You don't have to talk about your week. You don't have to, but does anybody else feel comfortable showing just what they've worked on? Oh, Zia. Okay, hold on. Zia, if you don't, unfortunately, let's see. Would you mind unmuting because it'll let you be featured. Here, I can send you a ask to unmute. There you go.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. I wasn't able to, I'm doing this on my iPhone and I wasn't very successful. Anyhow, I'm
That's
not a
really
strong
pretty.
knitter, so I chose knit and I'm just loving how it's coming out.
So pretty.
I want to add another color to one of our members mentioned having a loss and grief, and I recently have experienced that as well. So I've added a color on there to express that. And some days are worse than others, or better than others, I should say, because
Yeah.
this is the pink is my joyful. So this has been a great practice, a great way for me to really deal with the feelings that I'm feeling. So I'm loving this group. So thank you very much for organizing this.
It looks so beautiful and it's my pleasure. Yeah, I mean, this is a good time to talk about grief, which is not something that I had necessarily considered as a standalone. I think I automatically just put it in the sad category, but there's so many modalities to grief, Connie shared 12 steps, but I think there's probably just as many, for a program, there's probably just as many stages of grief as just, and so it's interesting to see whether or not people like yourself, Zia, chose to do a completely different color or just incorporated whatever emotion that was related to that point in their grieving process with it. So really good conversations and I appreciate you sharing. Madeline, are you back?
I am back.
Okay.
And She's at her dad's this weekend and she took it with her for the first time, which really makes me happy, which means it's becoming a priority for her. So I know.
That's
That's amazing.
that's
First
really
week.
good.
Yeah, the first week she went to her dad's 2 or 3, like, you know, the first couple weeks, and she just left it. And this weekend she took it. So we'll show it to you next time.
That's great news.
I'm excited about that.
So without telling your story, just for people that don't know, Madeline was doing this project with her teenage daughter as just a way to reconnect and open up conversations. So, and a teenager going for something like that is pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's a
Well,
parental
the first
win.
I was like, are you doing it? Are you doing it? And I'm being, you know, naggy mom. And she's like, not yet. And then when she started doing it, looks like she's doing it. So I'm
Right?
glad. I'm glad.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Mary, would you like to show yours? And if you don't want to, you don't have to. You can just give me a thumbs down if you don't want to.
Sorry, I was trying to unmute.
No worries. Oh, pretty.
Yeah, I had to kind of unfortunately frog back a little bit because I dropped a stitch.
Yeah.
And it's with the knitting, it's a little hard to pick the stitches back up.
Because it's garter stitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a little fussier for sure. What you might consider doing is running a safety line. Dental floss works great. Every several rows. So all you need to do that is take a tapestry needle. You can use waste yarn, but dental floss already has a sheen on it. You feed it through all of the stitches. And so if you ever have to do that again, you will only drop back to that number and you don't have to worry about losing any more. Anytime you're working with a lace pattern, that's really helpful because those yarn overs confuse things.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
They
maybe
sure do.
consider doing that in the future. How are you finding the process so far?
I'm finding it's forcing me to kind of look back at each day, and especially since I'm a caregiver in a
Mm.
way to my husband and my mother.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
And yeah, and trying to take care of myself at the same time. So being able to get this time to do the knitting kind of helps me focus on myself and uh, just kind of try to relax a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It is really, you have to remember with caring, being a carer, that it's a marathon, not a race, and you really have to make
Yes.
sure to nourish yourself. It's like that oxygen mask thing in the plane, right? Like you're
Yeah.
not going to be able to take care for them if you are completely depleted. So even if it's 15 minutes for yourself, like, maybe if you can reframe it in your mind as you're doing this also for them so that you can
Yeah.
remain refreshed,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it might help.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've been there. Yeah, well, Vicky, you remember because I was on your knee then when I was caring for my mom at home.
Yeah.
And I finally had to just take one of our wingback chairs, put it in a corner of my bedroom, and just close the door sometimes and sit down and knit and watch a little TV.
Yeah.
Because I had my mom, but I also had a child on the spectrum and caring for my own health, which sucks. So I get you. And if you ever want to chat on the boards, reach out.
And that's a great point, Kristen. It's my hope that people do connect. And it's really easy to do within this platform. All you need to do is click on a person's profile and there's a chat. Just click chat and you can message people. And if people aren't open to that, they won't respond. And that's just life. But I'm guessing that if anybody is actually going through with this, quirky little project that we're doing, that people are going to be open. And that's kind of the whole point of also Stitchwell Social Club. For those of you that are also, members of our larger club, it's really about that connection. And it's a gift that knitting and crochet really gives to people. Because it opens doors to relationships you probably would not have under other circumstances. Margaret, I see your pretty project. Would you mind sharing it? Of course. So I did the knit ripple, but I couldn't, I don't like purling. I mean, I do like to purl, and I couldn't, I wasn't getting, what do you call that? Like that smooth texture. So
You-
instead of just knitting the whole thing, I'm doing alternate knit and purl.
That's beautiful. I love a stockinette version.
Yeah.
Love it. That's like so
It's
colors are joyous
interesting.
no matter what the emotions like are behind them.
So the dark would be the hot pink is like mad.
Oh,
Yeah. 'Cause
to me that's dance party.
it's not my color, but I love it. So
But you're coming in hot. You're coming
yeah,
in hot.
I came in hot. Well,
Yeah.
what is that? Also, no, wait, powerful. I apologize. It's
Oh, powerful.
This is
Okay.
powerful. This was sad.
Mhm.
This is peaceful, joyful. This is what's the I don't know. But this is mostly what it's going to end up being with the peaceful and joyful. So, yeah, I'm loving it.
That's nice.
I was just on vacation, so I'm about a week behind.
Yeah, I'm behind too. I just got back from sewing camp for a week in Maine, and so
I
booked
heard
quickly, but
you were at sewing camp with a friend of mine,
oh, who?
Jessica Martinez.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
She did. I do Sashiko with her.
She's lovely. She's lovely. So Jessica was one of the instructors there. On Instagram, I think she's Miniature Rhino, if you want to follow her. And her whole thing, this is going to be a repeat for some folks, so apologies, but her whole thing is reuse. It's, slow fashion, revitalizing old pieces. And so she focuses a lot on sashiko. She has a book on mending that I recommend checking out. And she really just likes playing with pieces that have a little life to them, that
Yeah.
tell stories. And so her course was really not a course. It was really about playing with pieces. And so people came in with any number of things, like some things that they had thrifted, some things that maybe just didn't fit them anymore, some things that as a whole might have been hideous, but they had a really good part to it. One woman had this dress that had a great like white cotton peasant skirt, but it was also paired with like a weird gray ribbing tank top, and then on top of that bows, and it was like all of the things got thrown in. And so she was going to take apart that, and I had some mending to do on, I call it my robu, but it's like this kind of robe thing, kind of has the cocoon kimono vibe. And so I used a piece of old silk and then did some sashiko. Everybody was doing all different kinds of things. We also did some indigo dyeing.
Oh, that's fun.
And so I brought in a pale dress, and now it's a vibrant blue. I'll have to share that soon. But anyways, it was lovely. I really liked Jessica a lot, and it was fun. It was fun to do a little sashiko because I do like it, and I always intend to do it, but I never really made time for it.
I've been doing her probably this is the third or fourth year that she has I'm going to show you. She has
I would love to see that.
every month. Well, not every month. I think now it's every 3 months. So it's 4 times a year. So I don't know if you could see on here, that's my stitching, but if you really look close, do you see like the pattern is printed on there?
Yeah.
So this is,
And I guarantee she dyed that fabric herself.
she might have, but she also does a lot of recycling. So
yes.
There's this great place here in New York. It's called Fab Scrap.
Yeah.
You could order online, like if you wanted fabric. So she goes there and she volunteers.
Is that where she's based?
In New York City, in Brooklyn.
I don't think I knew that. Okay.
Yeah. Here's another one. I haven't really started. Well, I kind of started it.
So is it a subscription situation?
Yeah. So yeah, 4 times a year. She used to send us with all the colors.
Yeah.
But now she's like, everyone was not complaining, but like they were like, we want to use our own. So she's like, it's a little less work for her not to send the colors. So, but it's great. I have so many of them and I've used them. I've made a valance with them.
What
That's
else?
neat.
I think I'm going to do a quilt. I've never done a quilt.
Mm.
I'm so wanting ever to do a quilt.
Yeah.
I think I'm finally going to do that. But it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
And
What is Soshiko?
yeah, I was gonna say, just could you give a quick, it doesn't have to be quick, but
So, I mean, the
explanation?
original intention it's a Japanese method, and it's a mending method. So like when Vicky was saying about her kimono kind of thing, that's what they would do. They would repair their kimonos or their dressings with small patches.
Oh, the visible mending.
Yes, that's actually the name of her book, I think, Visible Mending.
Oh, okay.
But it's a particular type of, they're, the stitch patterns are very, I don't
It's
wanna
a
say
running
uniform,
stitch.
simple.
It's a running, it's a running
Oh,
stitch.
nice.
It's
Except, you know,
often tone on tone or one color on one, contrasting color.
right. But that's originally what it was meant to be. But now, but some of these I've used to patch up, jeans, holes in jeans, uh, making little pouches from them. But that's what the sashiko is. It was sashiko. I don't know how to really say it. Sashiko, sashiko.
I mean, I'm sure us whiteys are saying it wrong no matter how we say it. So
Right.
it's one of those things.
Exactly.
It's really lovely. And like Margaret just said, it's all done with running stitch. And usually there's some kind of pattern that like she took a white pencil for me and did a grid. She had a grid, like a stencil grid, because I wonder if I have, oh, you know what I might have? So I don't have her book here, but I do have somebody else's. Let me see.
It's lots of fun. I mean, and I've done it on pants. I did it for my sons, and they were like, "Wow, this is really nice." And I didn't think they would like it.
Yeah.
And you could make like a diamond shape, and then you could actually weave the thread through to make more of a decorative idea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll post some stuff in. I'm hoping that Jessica will come into
Oh,
Stitch Walt Social Club and do a quick promo for her book, and maybe just a quick overview for us.
So traveling, when I was traveling, sometimes it's hard to travel with, yarns and stuff. And I've had my needles taken away from me. I've had my scissors taken. Oh yeah, that's it. Look at that.
So see these sort of straight line patterns. There's sweet flowers that can be done, but you could make it a ton of colors, but the traditional method is usually just done with one color of thread on a contrasting color or coordinating color. It could be tone on tone. Yeah.
Gotcha.
A lot of
Neat.
silk and cotton.
Yeah. Okay.
All natural fiber kind of stuff, which I like. And so that what I was saying, sometimes it's hard to travel and do your knitting or crocheting on the plane. So I always take the sashiko with me and I have like these little teeny snips, and it's meditative too. It's so meditative. Like if you really need to like get out of your mind, it's amazing. And you don't have to count anything or did I do the right stitch? Did I go over?
Yeah. And if you put the lines there too, it even takes it out even more. You mentioned small scissors, but just so you know, I got these on.
Oh, how?
Just barely. I caused a little bit of an issue. Not going to kid you. That just needs to be under 4 inches, 4 inches or less from the little screw point. And that's exactly what these are. Because I was like, oh my gosh, because on the way there, it was not a problem, but I was like, I'm going to lose my, my expensive Ginger scissors. I know better. I just wasn't even thinking. And on the way there, it wasn't an issue. But just so you know, that and my rotary cutter, I was just like, we'll just take the blade out of the rotary cutter. No big deal. But these, like,
that would have been a sin.
But anyways, just so you know, you really can take scissors on at this
I
point.
think it's more, the only time they've taken them away from me were international flights.
Oh, yes.
So I had Addie lace steel point.
Was that a long time ago?
I'm going to say maybe 7, 8 years.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's an issue anymore, but the scissors I wouldn't do, the big ones, but
yeah. And then they also took away my little stainless steel folding scissor. I'm like, who am I going to kill with these? I was so nasty to the guy. And when they took my Addy needles, because I had a project on, and they were lace size, so it was fingering weight. I said, "Would you do this to your grandmother or your mother?" Because I was like, "You don't understand what you're doing to me right now." I
Oh
had
my
to take the
gosh,
whole
that's-
project off.
Ugh.
Oh my
But
god.
he didn't care. He just took them and threw
Yeah.
them in the garbage right in front of me.
Oof.
Oh,
Ooh.
I was not happy.
Yeah,
no.
those are expensive. Those are expensive.
Yeah.
So now you need to just travel with like
So-
clover needles, which are perfectly nice, but
Yeah.
half the price.
Yes. And
Yeah.
and then I'll do crochet on the plane.
Yeah.
My
Oh
knitting
yeah,
in
yeah,
my
yeah. If you
bag.
can, yeah, if you have that choice too. I've not run into that. So that's interesting.
Yeah, but always international. The
Yeah.
islands, like I think once was Bermuda and another time was Aruba.
I mean, good trips.
Yeah, I luckily I do travel a lot.
It's hard to feel real bad for you in this story.
But my needles.
I was feeling super sympathetic with you until I found out you were going to Aruba.
Yeah, no. My husband does pharmacy seminars. So he's a pharmacist, but he doesn't do the seminar, he organizes them.
Mm.
So he travels 8 times a year.
Oh wow.
So I don't go all the time, but I
Well,
was just in Hawaii, yeah.
okay.
Oh.
All right, Margaret.
Okay, I'm
jealous.
done. I'm
No
sorry.
wonder why there's so much joy on within your blanket. Like you're living the life. Well done. Well done. Mylinka, good to see you. How's it? Tell everyone about your change and how, like, what you were finding and all of the things.
Sorry, I
Can you-
couldn't find my mute button. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm in a coffee shop, so I'm trying not to yell. I thought this was later today, and then it popped up on my phone. I'm actually in a coffee shop working on a book review that I'm overdue on doing. Um, but yeah, so I was doing the ripple, the lace, and I was just struggling and was not enjoying it. And I'm a slow knitter, and when I knit, I realize I tend to use bulkier yarns, and so right, this is not bulky yarn. And so I was really struggling with it, and I wasn't working on it, and I was just miserable. And I don't know, a couple of days ago, I'm like, what are you doing? There's like there's 3 other patterns, and you can crochet. And so I just gave myself the permission to stop the project that was making me unhappy, because that's not the point of this whole
It's
make-along.
antithetical to this entire.
Yeah, because I wouldn't even pick it up. You know, we all have unfinished projects, right? That we're just going timeout, and I was like, this shouldn't be the timeout. The project that so yeah, I was just like, you crochet, and I was looking at people's and I was like, gosh, the granny stitch is so fun. Why don't I just do that? And so I just put my I don't know 3 days worth of work aside, and now I think I'm on like day 12 of the granny stitch because I'm having so much fun with it. And I was like,
Well, and it's a lot less rows, frankly.
It's a lot less rows. It's a lot less rows, but also, it was like an immediate switch in mindset and everything. And now, like last night, I think I did, I don't know, like 6 or 7 rows when I just got it. I tend to do it when I get in bed at night.
Mm.
And so I'm just like, why did I like torture myself for so many weeks when I didn't need to? And I think 'cause it's like I really like the feathering fan, like the ripple, and I've done it before and I enjoy it. But for some reason, it just wasn't clicking for me.
For it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I just also then I was like, why did I torture myself for so many days when I could have been enjoying the crochet
That is
version?
between you and your therapist. I can't answer.
Right. Well, you know what I think it was? It's like, but I want to do this one. I like this one. This is the one I
Yeah.
picked. And so I
Yeah.
wanted to, and then I was like, it's a craft, for goodness sakes. I'm not wedded to it. It can be undone and fixed.
Yeah,
I can redo it.
and you could also do something else with a bigger yarn using this pattern
Well,
later.
so you know what, actually I had this thought is that, because I have an embarrassingly large stash of yarn. And I was like, what I should do I should do it again, like in the fall with my fatter like wool and these other yarns that I've been hoarding for
That's a
whatever
good idea.
reason. Yeah. And then,
check
and so
in.
that's what I think I'm going to do in the fall. Cause I mean, I need to
Yeah.
print out more of the daily, things. And so that's what I think I'm going to do is do one in the fall and see fall and winter and see how that works. Yeah. But I'm glad I made the switch. I'm just kind of kicking myself. And then now I have to get over kicking myself about being like dragging out the misery when I didn't need
Well,
to.
you missed, I was on my soapbox the first, 5 minutes of this. You weren't here yet about
Yeah.
like letting projects go that are struggling. Like that's not what
Yeah.
this is about. And, in
Well, like
general.
yeah, and I think that's what it was for me too. And I was like, I'm really working against the whole point of the project. So why am I doing that? So yeah, once I took my, 30 minutes to like do a little introspection and be like, stop being an idiot and just do what makes you happy. I
I
tell
mean, if
people that
your
all the
entire
time.
blanket is mad color and it's not because of the state of the world, it's because of the project, might be time to do a little pivot. So well done.
Exactly. But like a lot of people have posted, about how they're actually finding more that they have more joyful and more peaceful days than they anticipated. Same, like I realize I'm probably going to have to order some more of the color that I'm using for my happy, days
You
because
and peace. Yeah.
that's awesome. Because some days it doesn't feel like I'm all that happy.
Yeah.
And then I go back and I look at my chart and I was like, wow, well, I've had a lot of good, productive and or content days. So
You know what I think it is like you can, as humans, and this is broad stroke, but as humans, like we can have 20 compliments on anything and then one nasty comment, and it's the nasty comment that we can't let go. And I think it's kind of the same with like anger and anxiety. And that's not to dismiss that those feelings aren't real, but they just may not be overtaking life in this for everyone in the way that we thought, And like for me, I shared this on the meeting the other day or the handicraft happy hour, but like this is my anxiety color. And I was like, I wasn't anxious the most of the day, but at the beginning, I felt like my skills weren't as high as other people. And I was a little anxious about getting it. And then I got this help from this wonderful woman. And then like, so it's like, I'm finding I also don't want my blanket to represent like be more dramatic than it is than I already am, And so that's the other thing is like just being okay with being like, you know what? Like I was a little angry spice for a minute, but then like I worked through it and like the rest of the day was pretty chill,
Yeah.
And I'm actually thinking about right now, there's this like, if there's this underlying anxiety, like what that I'm having about some work stuff, I don't necessarily want it. That's the other thing with the crochet version. This one is the rows are very tall. This is good for me because I'm super busy, but I also am like, well, that makes it seem way more prominent than it is. And sometimes there are underlying feelings, even when you're having an overall feeling of the day. Like, let's say, you're having a great day with friends and wine and cheese, but there's an underlying sadness because you had a loss in the family. Well, those things can exist at the same time. Or an underlying anxiety about X that's sitting there. It's there, but it's not at the top because you feel at peace with all these other things in your life. And so I'm considering for the underlying things like anxiety, adding just maybe a single crochet row, just a rogue single crochet row that just sort of symbolizes underlying. I'm gonna
I like that.
like it might look terrible, but I'm gonna give it a try. So that's something else to explore too. It's like, or like conversely, let's say there's something really rough going on in your family or in your life, but there's an underlying happiness because maybe you have a new grandchild, or maybe you have maybe you've just won the lottery. I don't know, whatever it is. Like it could be the reverse too, where you're focused on
you know, some rough times because that's what you're doing right now. That's the big thing in your life, but there still is something that's bringing you joy or whatever. It's still underlying. And that has value too, because we're complex creatures, you know? And so that's easier to show if you're working in the feather and fan that has, you know, whatever it is, 7 or 8 rows, but harder for this particular, also with the half double crochet, that works too, because, you know, you can do 1 row, but with this particular one, you know, you're only doing 1 or 2 rows a night. So, you know, finding different ways. I've also played with tying little bits of fringe on for different things. But that's for more contemplation. And I don't know if I actually want that, but just thinking about different ways to represent things.
Wasn't there somebody, was it you or somebody else that said about using a variegated or speckled, you know, when you're having one of those,
yeah,
you know,
Olga's
just up and down?
Yeah, Olga's using a variegated. There's a few people that are, and I originally, that was my intention, but I ended up going with a yarn that didn't offer that. So, you know, I'm coming up with creative ways. Malinka?
I was actually thinking about getting lace weight in similar colors to my 6 or 7 colors, and then just doubling maybe one strand of the lace weight in with whatever my dominant one is. Say my dominant is happy, but I've got that thread of anxiety, then like my anxiety color is like a bright orange. And so, you know, maybe threading one lace weight together. And so that is also in there. That's one thing, but I haven't started looking for lace weight yarns because but I do need to shop for yarns, although I don't have a ton of lace weight in my stuff, but I'll look and see.
I wonder if Pearl Soho that has the yarn that
I bet they do.
Maybe, but this is much brighter colors than usual for that. So, we were talking about that very thing on the boards, Smilinka, only in respect to grief.
Oh yes, I saw that's actually kind of, I think I saw that and was thinking, I think that's probably what got it like rolling around in my head, was thinking about that.
Yeah, so just as a refresher for people, we were talking about how there's all these different stages of grief. And so you may be going through the anger stage or you may be whatever, but you're having a you're having whatever a day. Anyway, like you might be having a good day, but there's this underlying for grief. And so using, you know, double stranding with something that won't change the gauge too much is another way to represent that. And do that, like make this your own. And if you don't like any of the patterns, do a different pattern. There are a couple people that are doing that, you know, like if you need to just do a huge garter stitch piece, do that. If you want to do complicated color work that expresses your feelings, do that, you know, let it be what you need it to be, you know, for sure. I'm trying to see if there's anybody, is there anybody else who might want to share their piece? I'm trying to see if there's anybody that we haven't. Brenda, have you shared yours?
Yes. Originally, I hadn't noticed that the name was Zia, and that's my granddaughter. That's why there was a 13.
Okay. I was like, I recognize her and I recognize that it's sideways, but I was like, that is not the name. And you had your head down. So, okay.
So yes,
Okay.
I'm
Well done.
As we speak, I'm working.
Okay,
So-
well done. Okay, I think we've gotten everyone who's here. If you are not sharing your camera, but would like to show your piece, please just jump on in. Otherwise, I think that we are pretty good for this one. We'll continue touching bases. Really, I want to make sure that I check in with you all to make sure that you're not losing steam, or if you are losing steam, that's cool, you know, give you permission to release it, you know, not that you need it from me, but sometimes we just need to hear things from other people. And so I will continue to set these up. Actually, I've already done it. You can find the future events under the events tab on the Make-Along. And I will also post recordings as well. Does anybody who is here live have any questions about anything?
I don't have a question, but what helped me, because I was really having trouble focusing on what are my feelings, because I don't do that. I'm always wondering, are you okay? Are you okay? What can I do for you?
Yeah.
So I went to the woman that you kind of used as the guide and I
Dr.
printed,
Wilcox.
I
Yeah.
printed out the bigger one.
Yeah.
So reading some of the extra feelings that come to the feelings we're using really helps to guide me a little bit.
Yeah. Maybe seeing them that way. I actually pulled all of those and put them in the umbrellas, but there's something about seeing them in that color wheel that just I think is really effective.
Yeah.
I say color wheel. It looks like a color wheel to me. That's not what it is.
Spokes or wheels.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah. It's also surprising where some of those fall.
Yeah.
And it gives you something to think about.
Yeah, but I definitely appreciate the whole idea. Like, I don't take time for I do take time. This is my therapy, so it's good that I take the time to do this. But I appreciate that you've put this together and helped guide us. Like Mylanka said, she, oh, I had to put it down. But this is what the purpose of this is, I feel like giving myself permission to do what I want. So I thank you for that.
Oh, well, thank you for being here and for sharing that. And please tell Jessica I said hello. I want to reach out to her soon. I already miss the whole situation. And it was only a week ago. So, well, does anybody else have anything else they want to share? Questions? All right, it looks good. All right, so as always, feel free to reach out to me. You can DM me. For those of you who are not Stitchwell Social Club members but are interested, we're doing self-care summer, which we just had Busy Peach, Laverne from Busy Peach on. We're doing a giveaway through that, and she shared all kinds of like yarns, including some limited edition ones. Coming up next month, we've got the editor of Knitting Magazine, the UK-based magazine, who's going to come and share all the stuff from the next issue. And we also have Miss Kristen, who's here doing a tarot for self-care lesson. And I'll also be sharing some more projects and that type of thing. There are 100+ workshops, patterns, all the things that are interested. So all you need to do is just DM me with the word upgrade and I can handle that for you. It's just $12. Other than that, just keep on keeping on. I am really enjoying seeing how folks are making this their own. There's a lot of there's some folks who aren't tracking at all, but just picking up their knitting or crochet at the end of the night and choosing the color that resonates with them for that day. For some people are doing it where they're like, I'm feeling happy right now. Others are not using the feelings of the wheels at all. It's like, what do I want to work with right in that moment? Really, really interesting. Several people shared that they were surprised by how many peaceful, joyous days. And let me see, I'm just going to end with reading just a few from just about like week 3 and what they've learned. One of them, like I just said, I've learned that I have more days of being in a peaceful state than I would have believed when we started. I like it. Even though it's an unknown mix of good and bad emotions, it makes an interesting, beautiful, and fun life pattern. I think that's a really lovely way to see it. And a lot of people just finding that the nuances of the main feelings have made the experience more insightful for themselves. So great stuff. Thank you for being open and for being a part of it. And as always, if you need me, you know where to find me. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I will see you on the boards. Bye, everyone.
Everybody.